Hey Spartans, and welcome back to another episode of Arena Analysis. This match is going to be on Fathom with the game mode Slayer. Now this happens immediately after the rank reset of February and after my 10 placement games. I am currently hovering around champion rank, and champion rank is 1800 as of now. So with the rank resets, it brings everyone back down to basically the same plane, except the game remembers your MMR and puts you at a similar place. And without the CSR being driven up to champion right now, it is much lower than it previously was in the last season in the 2000s. So anytime that the match starts on Fathom, I always like to push toward the camouflage. Fathom is a map that I always struggle with just due to the massive height advantage in the middle and the open nature of the map in which you can get shot from multiple angles if you don't have control of top mid. So to start the match off, I always like to nade underneath camo, because what happens a lot of times is that the enemy team will, of course, try to do the same thing. They'll usually have someone go to the porch, someone go to the BR, someone go in treehouse, and someone else come and pressure the camouflage. So if you can put a decent grenade through the hole, which lands about right here is usually where I like to try it. Anyone that's trying to rush toward the camo will get caught in that blast and be an easy cleanup. Now, instead of rushing for the camo myself, that's going to be foolish because I will take fire from the person on the porch. This is just a general overview of the opening strategies that I most commonly see in the Onyx tier. So after that, I like to jump up on this block and look toward the opposite side sub. Now, a lot of times there might be someone that comes to the sub after picking up the BR or come to the silo. So this is basically just my progressions as the match starts. I want to nade camo, see if anyone's pushing there, jump up on this block, and check the opposite team's sub and our silo. And if that doesn't happen, if there's no one pressuring there, my next objective is to make the jump from bottom mid to top mid and secure the railgun. Now to do this jump, you have to jump from this blue block, crouch while you're jumping, and land in this general area. And as you land, you want to release the crouch and jump and clamber to here. There's a very specific timing for it, and if you get it right and let the crouch go at the proper moment, you will almost spring up to the top like a higher jump. If not, you're going to be a little more flat and you have to angle more toward this side where it's a lower clamber. But if you get the jump correct, you can clamber right here and be exactly at the railgun. So that's a very useful jump. You might see me do it once or twice in this game. So there is someone at the sub. This is the jump right here. See, there I had a little bit of a mistimed crouch. And when that happens, I'm going to back it up just to show it more in depth in slow motion. So when that happens, you're going to get that flatter jump like I did. So as that guy backs up, I see the railgun still there, and I want to get the railgun. So I'm crouching right here. And then as I hit right there, I let go of the crouch button and jump again. Now when that happened, I didn't time it exactly correct, but you can still make this clamber to this area as long as you're holding the clamber button. It should also be noted that you should be playing with the setting of hold to crouch rather than toggle. Toggle will get you in more trouble than holding does, and holding also gives you a distinct advantage of being able to tap the crouch button in a gunfight and crouch strafe. Now as I grab the railgun, as you can see, let me get back to my point of view. As you can see, as I jumped top mid, they sent 3 people to the sub, and the blue silo. So what essentially happened was, after contesting the camo, the enemy team rotated over toward the red treehouse and is coming into our base to get some pressure while someone's hanging back on red porch watching top mid. So since they're watching top mid and I was one shot, that was going to be an easy cleanup and I'm dead. So now that I know that they're all on the red side, I'm probably going to spawn blue side since they're pressuring that side spawn. Sure enough, I spawned blue silo. So since I see that, red silo, I'm sorry, I'm going to try to get the BR. This guy makes a good move to get out of there, and then I get pushed by the camouflage. I did not see the camouflage there. That was just a really poor play on my part. I shouldn't have pressured over to where I know the enemy team was coming from, especially with no team support. So when that happens, you're just at a loss. It's a very poor play to fight 1-on-4. So I get a call out that they're top mid, and this is, on Fathom, the general strategy, especially for Slayer, is to hold this top mid and the tree houses. Now it's very difficult to do this by yourself because of the line of sights that you can get shot from. If you're on either platform, you can take fire from the entirety of the silo side of that base as well as the treehouse. You also have to be aware of someone doing the top mid jump up and flanking behind you, and someone coming from the opposite side treehouse. Now, The one caveat about top mid is that you do not want to be caught back inside the treehouse. If you're inside the treehouse, it is very easy to get naded out or to get pushed with a close range weapon like the storm rifle, which just so happens to spawn right here in the back of the treehouses. So since I'm up here, my teammates are still on the bottom level of the map. So I'm trying to be very cautious as I proceed here and check my flanks. And as I do that, I take fire first on top mid. Now when that happens, the importance of top mid in Fathom is not to be understated in any game mode. Slayer, you control the entire flow of the map. Capture the flag, you control the entire flow of the map. But if you're taking fire and have no support, especially in Slayer, where you need to play your life, you should always drop. You're giving up the power position, but you need to drop to not give up that free point to the enemy team. Just so happens I get naded out as I drop and I die. So in this match, you're going to see my team go down quite a few kills, and we're going to have to amass a comeback. So now that we all spawn back red, this is a really bad situation. I spawn here and I see two teammates to the immediate left of me. Since I know we're spawning all together, that means we're being pushed and they have total map control. As I come out this way, I'm trying to get some distance between my teammates, that way we're not all clumped up together in the treehouse to eat a grenade. Pushing out this side, I see my teammate take a splinter grenade here, so I'm very aware that he's taking fire from this portion of the map. So when that happens, I'm trying to throw a grenade just to get some damage in there, as I knew that he called out that there was an enemy weak there. Let me get back to my point of view here. Okay, this is the top mid play again where I have to drop, and I take the grenade. Okay, that's fine. So, trying to get back to first person here if I can. Okay, here we are. So when this happens, you're going to see Tim spawn and die over here in the red flag. I'm going to spawn, there we go. As you can see, my teammate spawned right in the same location that I spawned, which is not a good situation. That's something that you never want to happen. I think I need to back up a little further. Okay, here I am eating the grenade. Also, a disclaimer, I am still using the theater mode for Halo 5, and it struggles, to say the least, to keep the reticle on the accurate positions, but that's really not what this series is focused about. This is more focused on decision making and positioning and general strategy. So as I said, I know that there's someone weak here since my teammate just died right here. So I'm going to throw this grenade, and if you hit the grenade correctly off the porch, it can either die right here on the ramp or it can bounce a little bit further down to the silo. So I'm trying to bounce it so it will die a little bit closer to the door. And as I do, it dies right at this enemy's feet that is one shot. So that's a neat little grenade trick if someone's trying to push in your porch, especially in the capture the flag modes. So as that happens, I don't want to push that way as I know they're coming, but unfortunately I eat a grenade there, and since I'm one shot, I'm going to be a really easy cleanup. Now at this point we're down 9 kills, and the enemy team has total map control. This is not a situation you want to be on Fathom, because Slayer matches can tend to snowball out of control really quickly if you're giving up map control like this. So off the spawn, I'm just trying to push out and communicate to my team that we need to get top mid control. And here I believe is where the match starts turning around. As you can see right here, I am crouch walking in the treehouse with a close range weapon. I don't like that strategy. It's not the best strategy to employ, but it can pick up a lot of kills when you're trying to control the top of the map. So as you can see right here, 1, 2, 3 of 3 people on my team, including myself, are top mid when the railgun's going to spawn. We have control here. Life is watching the red treehouse. I'm near blue treehouse. And Obsolete is looking down into the yard. So we know we're going to get this railgun control. My main objective here is to watch the flank, let Obsolete pick up the railgun, and get some kills. So since I got no call out or activity on this side of the map, I'm very aware that the enemy team might be spawning on their silo. The silo, the vat, the cylinder, whatever you like to call it, is a very popular spawn on this map. So sure enough, as I turn, there's going to be a guy in the treehouse, and that's an easy gunfight to win because I'm aware that it's coming. So I see 2 grenades flying from the red porch direction. Always be aware of things other than callouts and gunfights as to clues to where the enemy is. Since I saw the grenades coming from that area, I know he's there. It was a terrible grenade by my part. I was trying to slide it right through, but that didn't happen. So I'm still working in conjunction with my other 2 teammates to control top mid. This is what I'm talking about. I was crouching in blue treehouse, and that's a gunfight that you're going to lose 9 times out of 10. If you come into the treehouse with a pistol, If you're waiting in the treehouse with the SMG, the storm rifle, sometimes even the assault rifle, you're going to pick up an easy kill just by not letting your position known. However, there should be noted that this jump right here leaves you vulnerable. If an enemy jumps to this ledge, then jumps to here and clambers through this hole, you are going to be taken by surprise. So you always need to be aware of that. So again, here we're slowing the game down. Anytime you get down double-digit kills in Slayer or you're losing map control, you need to try to slow the game down. There's no sense, since you're playing for kills in Slayer, that you should be out forcing the action if you're down too much. Slayer is oftentimes not about getting kills, but more about staying alive and waiting for an opposite team to make a mistake. That way you can capitalize on it. And that's what we're doing here. We're right back in the game now that we have map control, railgun control, and the height advantage. So here, that's an easy kill. That enemy just pushed out a blue porch trying to get in blue treehouse to take top mid, and for one, I caught him sprinting as I had my gun readied. You never want to be sprinting into anywhere that you believe an enemy could be, because then your weapon is lowered as you're sprinting, and they have the immediate advantage in the gunfight because they have their weapon ready. So as we can see here, we're getting pushed in red tree, and I get that call out. I'm not able to finish that kill due to poor accuracy and taking fire from the blue porch. So now I'm just trying to stay alive top mid. Since I took fire from that side, it's safe to assume that the entire enemy team is spawning on blue side. And sure enough, they are. Anytime you take fire from somewhere, you need to be aware that that enemy could potentially have backup and try to break the line of sight. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm waiting top mid for this railgun to spawn, and I'm waiting for someone to come up red treehouse. Popular strategy on this map to break a top mid setup is to split your teams up to either have 2 going to both tree houses or 3 going to a tree house and 1 on the flank. In general, if you have 3 enemies coming through a treehouse, then you're going to be focused on that location while someone flanks you from behind. So you need to be aware of that at all times. And that's a good example right there. As you can see, this enemy did the top mid jump. So another good way to break the setup is to have a couple go through treehouse, 1 through this other treehouse, and then someone jump top mid. If that happens, you're going to take a lot of heat. But it was fortunate that he was not aware of my position and I had a close range weapon and was able to clean him up. Now, if you saw just a second ago, there's a blip on my radar on bottom mid. And with the camos generally coming up, since we don't know the timer, we can always generally assume that it's going to be after an odd numbered minute mark. So I'm able to clean up that kill as my teammate weakened him with the railgun. So since he has the railgun, I was trying to let him pick up the railgun ammo rather than myself pick it up so we could stack more ammo together. But he wasn't able to pick it up, so I was forced to, which is fine. Now, as you can see right here, it was 7, look at the time, it's 7:46. Generally, camo or power-ups are going to come up after the 11-minute mark, or after the 12-minute mark, after the 10-minute mark, after the 8-minute mark. So if you're looking at 11:50 something, and then it's always 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So usually 11:50 something, 9:50 something, 7:40 something. So if I'm not aware of the exact time, but I know that I need to be down there for the camo. And since I'm dropping down here with the power weapon, it's a very easy shot to try to clean up anyone coming through to get it. Now I'm going to get naded out here, but sure enough, the camo spawned. So the camo is going to be picked up, and I'm looking at my death cam right now to see if anyone picks it up, and they don't. So if you die anywhere near a power-up, be sure to monitor that situation with your death cam, and if the enemy team does get a pickup, at least you know what time it was picked up and can be expecting it later. So again, we're trying to control top mid. I see my teammate die there, and I know I'm going to have a gunfight on the bridge, but I was able to get the trade. I missed a shot. We both missed a shot. That was just... Sometimes that happens in gunfights. People miss shots. That's how it is. You can always work to improve on your accuracy. But now, since we're dead, we are trying to get top mid control again. Fortunately enough, the opposing team has not got a stranglehold on top mid. So I'm coming through blue treehouse, and I'm able to help out here. I get callouts that they're on the blue side, and I'm trying to nade the porch here. And this enemy jumps out into blue silo. Since he's blue silo, I know someone's going to be coming through the red treehouse. And sure enough, there's one person, or this is blue treehouse, I'm sorry. There's one person in, that's red treehouse, in red treehouse, and I get a call out that they're on the silo. So, that was actually a little more important to this match than I was conveying it to be. So, first of all, anytime you come in the treehouse, always replace your assault rifle with a storm rifle. The storm rifle is just more powerful than the assault rifle. That's all there is to it. So, right here, Elements breaks my line of sight to him. So I know I'm not going to be able to kill him from here. The worst I could do was rotate out to top mid and try to get a better angle on him, but that would open up the treehouse. So since it does, I call out to my teammate, and I'm working directly with my teammate here. I'm telling him, hey, there's one behind blue silo, but I also see one in red treehouse. If you can drop down and get behind the guy in blue silo, I'll be able to kill this one with the storm rifle and then push out, and we'll be able to pinch him. So that's what happens here. This enemy comes around, and I slide into him, get the melee first, and that's an easy kill with the storm rifle. Meanwhile, my teammate, I have to back this up a little more. My teammate is going to work with me, as I said, and come down there and help us up. That was me going in the treehouse. So, as you can see, this enemy is rotating to the treehouse to try to get top mid control. I'm able to clean him up there. When I tell my teammate to jump, he jumps down from top mid. This is just very good teamwork. And as he does, he's able to get an easy kill just because I had that guy one shot. And as that's happening, I'm cleaning him up in red tree. So there's 2 easy kills for us just because we communicated and decided to pinch an enemy. Anytime you can get enemies between 2 teammates, they're going to be an easy kill because you're able to get multiple shots on them from different angles, and they can't respond to 2 people. So here, this is just good gunplay by me. I'm still controlling top mid. Now, I see this person on my radar bottom mid, so I'm going to try to be aware of that and jump down on him and get an easy kill. However, that's a positioning error by me. That was a really stupid play looking back on it. So what I should have done is be more aware of an enemy on the porch. So since I know they're on that side, they must be spawning there. Able to get the kill here, and I'm fighting with this person in the window, and I get the kill on the window. So since I knew someone was in the base, it's generally a good idea to always assume that that enemy has backup that you just killed. If you do that, you're going to be able to break lines of sight on yourself after you've engaged in a gunfight and you're weak and be able to recover. So here I get call-outs that there's one person running bottom mid as I see one teammate trying to ground pound him, and I get the call-out from lead. So as that happens, I'm turning, and I'm going to try to drop on him to get this cleanup kill. So he's one shot as my teammates called out, and I'm able to get this kill. However, since they were on this side spawning garage, I get cleaned up too. What would have been better would have been to just hang out top mid, and as I hung out top mid, just waited for him to run underneath. Let me show you. So if you wait on the platform here, there was no way we were going to lose that kill. I had 2 teammates shooting him from the back. If I had waited top mid right here, I could have just looked down and shot him in the face as he ran through. At best, the play he could have made was try to sit in the corner here in bottom mid, but then he would have got grenaded by my teammates. It was really foolish of me to drop down and try to get that kill because I gave up top mid. And as I said, top mid is very important in this match. So as you can see from that play, we have no one top mid now. Tim is going red treehouse trying to get it, but at this immediate time, we have no one top mid. So as that's happening, my number 1 goal coming off the spawn is to get top mid. So I'm running out, and I get the call out. There was a couple weak in blue sub. I'm able to get that one killed, but then play. If you're fighting someone, if it ever comes to that you're fighting someone in the base and they're on the porch, they have very limited options where you have 2. So as you can see here, I get this kill. However, I take fire from the window. Now, what are my options? I have 4 options, really. I have 4 cardinal directions I can go to. I can try to come back into the base and get some cover. I can try to drop back here on this ramp and crouch down right here and break his line of sight to try to get some cover. I can thrust forward and die, or I can try to jump over this railing and die. So really, there's only 2 sensible options. I choose to thrust back into the base. So as that happens, I broke his line of sight. And I'm trying right here to just break his line of sight long enough to get my shield back without sprinting away. But what he does here, as you can notice, is he throws a grenade. He throws a perfect grenade on the porch. So as he throws a grenade on the porch, he is going to rotate back inside, as you can see with the outline. So what this essentially does is have him covering both options of escape that I have. If I step back out, I'm going to eat the grenade and die. If I stay in here, I'm going to take the headshot and die. What I should have done is just fully commit and come back behind this piece of cover and then keep trying to break his line of sight. However, he probably would have had another grenade and thrown it in this area and then made me come to this outside and get cleaned with a headshot. So the moral of the story here is anytime there is a central piece of cover that only has 2 lines of escape, try to throw a grenade one way and deny them that route and then move to the other side to re-engage the gunfight. So that was a really good play by him. It was a really good play. And obviously the best way to avoid situations like that is to always think about escape routes and try to better your positioning. So again, off spawn, I'm getting the BR, and I'm coming up in the treehouse, as I know they don't have top mid control yet. The railgun's up, hasn't been picked up. I get a call out that they're silos, so I'm trying to help my teammate there. But I'm running back up to top mid to try to control the railgun. I'm able to get a clean pull on the railgun, and I see someone coming through blue tree. So I'm trying to stay alive here with the railgun as long as possible. I still get a call out that he's in blue tree. I'm going to charge the railgun up. Miss again. That was a dreadful shot. But now since I know that he went that way to the left, there's a high probability that he's going to try to be coming through the garage or back through the base. So that's why I'm looking here. I'm trying to predict where my enemy is going. Always try to predict where your enemy is going, especially when they're weak, because that can lead to a lot of easy kills just for the simple fact that you're prepared and they're not. So I'm coming through blue tree house again, and I get a call out that he's blue corner. I'm able to come around the corner, and since he's weak, this railgun shot is going to kill him. It wasn't a direct shot, but it will kill them every time just because they're weak due to the splash damage. So here I'm just continually trying to control blue tree house and top mid. Now we've lost top mid control. I know I don't have any support up here. So, but since I have the power weapon, I am able to get the kill. However, there's one very important thing about the way that the railgun functions in terms of difference to other power weapons. Because of the charge up of the weapon, you need to not only be precise with it, but you need to have the timing down of when your enemy is going to expose themselves so you're able to connect with the shot. So watch here. I'm pre-charging the railgun as I come to top mid because I know there's someone there. He breaks the line of sight, and I simply wide. That means if you hit the switch weapon button twice, you are not going to be committed to the railgun charge and switch back to it without firing the shot. So I do that, and then I know he's still top mid. I get the call out that one of my teammates just died to the person top mid. So I'm going to continually try to charge up the railgun and be ready. As you can see, I get visual confirmation of him and start charging the railgun. Now, if you ever come in contact with someone with a railgun, the best way to try to live in that engagement is to time your thrust pack to when the charge of the railgun goes off. This enemy does not do that. If he had thrusted either direction right now when the railgun was getting ready to release its charge, I would have had to track my reticle with his thrust. He doesn't do that, and that's an easy kill. If you thrust at the right moment, it's very possible that you can evade a railgun shot. The railgun is a very skill-intensive weapon, especially since you have to track enemies that know that trick. Always try to thrust when the railgun shot is about to be released. So I'm still patrolling top mid. As you can see here, I'm getting ready to pre-charge the railgun again since I know there's enemies top mid. And as I come up, there sure enough is another enemy, and I'm able to get another easy kill with the railgun because he wasn't aware that I was there. Railgun kills are super common when you can catch someone blindsided and they're not aware of your position. So now that I'm patrolling top mid, we know we have this game pretty much locked down. I'm getting call outs that there's someone red treehouse, and I'm pushing over here to help. I don't know why I turned around there. But again, I see the person one shot. Now, the only difference I could have done there would be switch to my BR and get the headshot, instead of wasting the railgun shot. But I didn't. It was a free kill, and it's always better to be sure that you get the free kill than try to save ammo. This is a common tactic I like to use to deny enemies' presence in the treehouse. If you have splinter grenades, try to throw them in the connector portion of the treehouse. This will close off both routes to the treehouse, and the only way to get up here is by using the jump. So that grenade goes off a little bit later than I'd liked, and I wasn't aware that he was there. But I'm still able to get the cleanup just because he's weak and he's getting team shot. Team shot is so powerful in Halo 5, guys. Always try to assist your teammates, and more importantly, try to be in positions to where your teammates can assist you. So the last couple of kills here are pretty just run-of-the-mill kills. We're spawning on red silo, another railgun comes up, I get that railgun, and I'm able to clean up top mid. So that's just a good example of how you control top mid in Fathom and assist your teammates to try to get kills. Also, the Stalker Arrow helmet is amazing. I love it. But this has been AA25 Mambo with another episode of Arena Analysis, and I will see you Spartans in matchmaking.